All right, in our main event, we got Rob Font going up against Cody No Love Garbrant. Rob Font coming in here with the 18-4 record, 33 years old, 5'8" with the 71.5-inch reach. The comeback on Cody, he's 12-3, 29 years old, 5'8" with the 65.5-inch reach. So he's going to be at a significant disadvantage here as far as the reach goes. Just breaking down Rob Font's last few fights. His last fight he had was against Marlon Moraes, and he ended up getting a finish there in the first round. It was later in the first round, and it wasn't without its adversity. Marlon did come in strong and land some decent strikes himself. And Rob showed that he can stay there and take those punches, and ended up answering back and getting a good finish against Marlon, and showcased an excellent jab that he had in that fight as well. The fight before that, he did have a unanimous decision over Ricky Simon, which is a great win in itself. Ricky's a top player, great grappler, heavy grinder, and all-around workhorse. So to get a win against somebody like that shows that you definitely got a gas tank out there. And his last fight before that, it was a few years ago, though, 2018. He took out the newly crowned Bellator champ, Sergio Pettis. So definitely a great win. He's definitely been doing work. His last loss that you can count on it would have been the fight before that against Rafael Sunshao, where he lost a unanimous decision. And Rafael's a great fighter, so not too much to take away from that. I do like Front on this one. But going over to Cody, his last fight, it did show that I believe that was his loss against Pedro Munoz. Rafael Sunshao, his win where he got that crazy knockout. Before that, he did have that crazy fight with Pedro Munoz where they were going to war for a whole round and ended up getting clipped and knocked out. It was a great fight before that. And then before that, man, he lost his, he has his 2-fight skid against TJ Dillashaw. And before that, man, he was flawless. So, just looking at Cody and how he fights, he's a wild brawler. When he's more technical, that's when he's doing his best work. Like everybody brings up his Dominic Cruz performance. He brings it up a lot, and it kind of seems like he's living in the past sometimes. That fight was 5 years ago already. So it seems like he's just made a regression, not a progression at all. He in the Dillashaw fights, he gets emotional, fights out of character, and gets knocked the fuck out. Pedro Munoz, it was the same deal. A Rafael Sunshao fight, it looked like he was getting a little bit emotional at that time and, ducking and doing stupid shit. And he just found the home for that fight. If Rob Font survives that first round, because Cody is a monster in that first round, he's going to be coming out. He is going to be faster than Rob at the beginning. It's just going to be if he can get past Rob's jab. If he can in that first round, he might have some success, But I believe once it gets into those later rounds and Cody's speed, starts to dwindle a little bit, I believe that's when Rob Font will start to put it on him. And it's just Cody's really chinny, man. I hate to say that with certain fighters, but he is, man. He is really chinny. Even in that Dominic Cruz fight, if you watch the first round, he took a straight jab and his eyes rolled back in the head, and that's just not a good look, man. Rob Font's got some power and he's really long, so this is gonna be a good fight. I'm with Rob Font on this one. Who are you taking?
So for Rob Font, 18-4, fighting out the New England cartel. Rob Font's a great boxer. He's been on a roll as of late. Smashing Marlon Moraes. He beat the new crowned Bellator champ Sergio Pettis back in 2018 pretty decisively. Font is one of my favorite fighters to watch because this man always brings it every time. This will be probably whoever's going to get the best of the boxing in this fight. For Cody, we all know Cody got bombs in those hands, but his chin is very suspect, as you mentioned. But when he's on, and we all know when Cody feels like he has you rocked, he goes in for the kill, and that's what's shown to work against him at times. He did fight a lot smarter fight on his last fight against Sunshao. I'm just curious to see if he's going to keep that same mindset going into this one. And I don't know. This is a tough one. I agree with you, Cody. Early, he has a chance to get a finish, but as this fight goes on, especially in like a third, fourth, fifth round, I see Rob just taking over. And the odds, they got a -115 either way. And I really like Rob Font to get this one done. And I like Cody. I'm a Cody fan. I hate to see him on that losing streak like he was on, and in a fall from grace. But Dana, I know, had big hopes for him. Was trying to make him into a star. So, and he was. This is Rob Font's just on a roll, and I don't think it's gonna be hard to stop him. So I got Rob Font as well in this fight.
Yeah, he's never went 5 rounds. Cody has. So I was listening to an interview earlier, and Cody, it seemed like more or less he was trying to pump himself up, saying about how Rob Font's never did this. He's never been a main event. He's never been a 5-rounder, and I have. So I should beat him. It's kind of like what he was getting at, and I just I don't feel that, man. Cody's chinny, man, and Rob Font, he cracks. So I'd definitely take Rob on this one. I'm pretty confident that he gets it done. The under 2.5 actually looks pretty good too. It's -125, so that kind of covers you for Cody getting him out of there quick, and and Rob getting him out of there within 2.5 rounds. So I would think Rob would get him out of there. I don't think Rob's going to try to get it in those later rounds, 4th and 5th rounds. But if he does, he's going to be in some new territory. So it'll be exciting to see. But I got Rob Font on this one, and that under doesn't look too bad, man. -125 for under 2.5. Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, that looks gettable. All right, we're both on Rob Font in the main event. Stay tuned for the next segment. We'll have best bets.